Hey guys, welcome to
Hi,
WWE The People, the podcast for the fans by the fans. I'm Ted Terzansky, and joining me is Danny Nogo, Danny Nagowski.
what up?
All right, hey Danny, go Birds! And so the Netflix era has begun. So
hmm
overall, I thought it was a great show.
hmm
Great first start, great matches. Um, from what I heard, two of them were technically planned for WrestleMania, which was Punk and Rollins, and
We knew that, yeah.
I think Rhea and Liv was planned for WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
But
I mean, I could see that. I guess they got some pretty big plans up their sleeve for the women's division.
Solo and Roman was a great match.
Yes.
I kind of thought the Cody part was on Cody's interference was unnecessary, but at the same
You
time,
know, that's a Netflix deal, bro. Like, I really feel like, they want Cody, they want the stars on there.
right,
And I did think, like, Cody is the champ, bottom line, regardless of how people think his run is going or not. Like, he is the champ and he is the face of the company right now with Roman, I'd say. But I did not like having him in the audience. And then all of a sudden the match starts. And when, it was time for Cody to come out and help out, he's coming down the aisle. You know what I mean? I felt that he should have been as much as I thought the Rock's opening sequence, um, I know we're gonna get into that. I felt that it should have been Cody who came out and did that whole introduction like that. That's just my opinion. But
yeah. I mean, we
again, Dwayne Johnson is the superstar, the Hollywood star, and I'm sure Netflix wanted him front and center for that. So
I agree, but I think uh, everyone was freaking out over because Rock broke character. He broke the final boss character
yeah,
in the opening, and he was babyface Rock the whole night, which okay,
yeah,
but I think Dwayne's approach is try it and then fix it on the next show because
yeah,
on NXT he was just telling the crowd, you shut your mouth, enjoy the ride the Rock's taking you on. So
yeah.
I'd say trust the process.
I felt like, I think I said it to you in our other group chat we have. I know I have two separate group chats. It's hard to keep track of whatever of them. But I said I felt like the Raw was good, and I'm not taking away anything from the show because I had a great time watching it. And when I mean great time is like I didn't Raw still at 3 hours. I still get a point where I'm like, okay, all right, let me go run out. Oh, I gotta take the trash out. I'll take the trash out during this match or something like that. It didn't really have any of that. It had a PLE mentality to it, and I
Mhm.
get that. But like I said, it felt like it was just a giant promotional package. What I mean, that's kind of how I felt this one was. Like, they already announced, like, Gunther is going to be on this week's Raw. I was like, this week's Raw is going to be okay. Let's get back to what we were doing,
Yeah, you're
story,
back to
getting
stability.
stories set up and everything. Yeah, like the first one on Netflix had all the celebrities. Macaulay Culkin, by the way, got an awesome pop.
Hmm.
Um, but I felt like it was just like so in my world, like where the entertainment or cover bands and stuff like that. We always shoot promo videos. Basically, it's just so like you could shop it around to clubs or agents and stuff like that to help booking. It's just a promo video of like three clips of three, four, five songs clipped together in a performance aspect, and you use it to get some gigs. I felt like that's what this was. I mean, you got to think about it. From match, only one match I felt like could have been a mid card. Most of them were all, you know, stellar opening WrestleMania or opening PLE match, opening PLE type matches, you know, and main events. That's
Yeah.
what they were. And so I was like, but yeah, so I thought the whole show was great. I would have liked to see a little bit more storylines progress a little more than what they did.
Hmm.
Um, you know, they better come up with something with Solo because to lose cleanly like that for two things, then something's got to happen soon.
I think it all comes back. And we were talking about this earlier in the week. I think it's all going to come back full circle. All the bloodline is going to go back to Roman Reigns, and
hmm
then the new bloodline that's they're going to act like they're they're under Roman, but then eventually
Yeah, and
They
then
turn on Roman, and
I see what you're saying.
It's the Rock pulling the strings.
I see what you're saying. That's actually a pretty good angle. I didn't even put that. I had it in my head where I mean, obviously Solo wasn't even on SmackDown, so I was like, obviously, he's out for a second. He wasn't there yet, right? I didn't miss any of that, right? No, he wasn't there.
He wasn't on
Um,
SmackDown on Friday, but he's going to be
right.
back
So
next Friday.
yeah. See, I thought for sure it was going to be a situation where similar to after WrestleMania, where when they turned on Jimmy and Paul Heyman and stuff that um, which was Jacob and everybody was going to turn on Solo
Mhm.
and The Rock was going to come out and be that. I felt like, I mean, listen, I guess they got some sort of game plan going on because we all thought that The Rock was going to put the Follow on himself.
I thought when he was going to put the Ulafalo on him, I was waiting for a rock bottom. I was ready,
It
waiting for
was the
him just to
perfect spot
grab.
for it.
Yeah, it was waiting for him to grab Roman and then just give him the rock bottom and walk out with the Ulafala and Paul Heyman.
Yeah,
Because
it was definitely a perfect spot
because
for it.
when
And
Roman
what?
won, Heyman looked hesitant to give him the Ulafala.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
almost, but he almost like hesitant, but almost like yes, master. That sort of thing. Like like maybe like okay, here's our face, but this is the true head of the table right here.
yeah,
And I think yeah, but I mean yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just wish it again, like I said, I loved Raw, so I'm not taking away from it. It was a
yeah,
spectacle, but yeah, I just felt like it was overall was just a promo package. Um, because
and
you're not gonna get matches like that
right, and
um on regular Raw.
well, and the other thing too is that it was rumored that it was supposed to be Becky Lynch's return. That got scrapped, and
Hmm.
then they put in Hogan, but that would have been if you're gonna end Liv and Rhea's feud, then that's the perfect segue for Becky to come back into the picture.
I wonder if because Chris Van Fleet, right? Something like that, Chris Van Vliet or something, whatever his name. He just had Seth Rollins on, and he did mention that they were talking about his role in Captain America, and then how he said, "Listen, I'm just telling you right now. I know for a fact that that whatever I filmed is not in the movie." He goes, "But he's like, but that's okay. I'm a WWE star. That's what I want it to be. But my wife, on the other hand, is loving acting, and she put out that she did Star Trek." But
Mhm.
he said she's got something else coming out very soon that he wasn't allowed to talk about. So I'm wondering if they held the Becky returning back simply because is she going to be able to commit to a WWE scheduling if she's got something big that and maybe an acting role or something like that she's probably going to, if it's a movie for instance, then maybe she's going to have to like if it's coming out during Mania or it's coming out sooner, she's got to start promoting it. She's not
Right.
going to be able to be at Raw or whatever often because she's going to be on the late night shows and stuff like that, promoting whatever she's got coming out. So
Hmm.
that could potentially be why they swapped it out. Because I personally don't think they should bring Becky back unless they can actually have Becky
Well,
in the storylines.
my original thought is because they're gonna let Rollins and Punk, that thing's gonna cook. I think that thing's gonna be bigger than Punk and McIntyre. So that feud I think is gonna go all the way to Mania, and that's gonna it's gonna be fun to watch. And
They
I
definitely
thought
have to have
about
another match, and Seth has to win the next one. Just
it's gonna be a back and forth like it was with McIntyre. But I thought about, okay, if you bring in Becky with Seth, then that gives the opportunity to bring AJ with with Punk.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah, that would be a spot
Now
because I could see like, but go ahead.
there hasn't been any kind of report that AJ is coming back or any kind soon, but it's been rumored for a while that her coming back into the mix, but nothing's been confirmed. But if you were gonna do that, hey,
Do it, yeah.
yeah,
But I can tell you right now if, and we'll never know this, but if they decide to bring AJ back at the Royal Rumble, I guarantee she probably got paid the most amount of money a female wrestling star has ever gotten paid for one appearance. Because I think that's what they would do. They would pay her to make an appearance at Royal Rumble, and then that'll give her the itch to keep going because you know once her music hits, the whole place is gonna go freaking nuts. And you know, I think the female division, as far as the Rumble's concerned, needs something like that because they really haven't had. They've had some surprises with bringing it back, some like Trish and stuff like that. Mickey making a surprise with TNA, but there's no pop that the female division would get more than AJ coming out in a Royal Rumble.
No, I agree.
And I think
That
that's where you got to introduce her back into the fold.
but
But I
that
think
that
that's also where Seth and CM Punk is gonna happen. They're gonna cost each other the Royal Rumble match.
yeah, yeah, totally agree. And but that being said, the past 2 years, the women's rumble's been better than the men's.
Yeah, no,
So
no, it's been it's I no, I'm not saying that. I agree, but I'm just saying like as far as like AJ Styles coming out as number two, the pop that got Edge making his return. Like the women's rumbles have not had a actual surprise pop that was just so loud that what I mean. I feel like you know that AJ's would just be huge because I know they're probably shaving saving Charlotte for that, potentially Becky and everything, and they'll get pops, but there is nobody on this planet that you could possibly tell me who would get a bigger pop from a female division than AJ Lee coming out in the Royal Rumble.
no, I agree. There's
It's
all it's also in the works that what's her name's coming back? Bray Wyatt, Alexa Bliss. Alexa
oh
Bliss
Alexa.
is
Now that would
they're
get
already working
that
the
would get a that
yeah.
would get a good pop. That would get a good pop. I still think AJ's would be more, but
Oh yeah.
but Alexa will get a big pop because
Yeah.
just we don't even know. We don't know what she's been on maternity leave like 2 years after the kid was born. So
They're already doing like it's already confirmed that she's coming back. It's just the question right now they're working on all the creative stuff on how they're going to bring her back, like the merchandising and all that stuff. That's all in the works right now.
sure.
So, but the expectation is in the coming weeks on Raw, she'll be back. Which
Okay.
and then the last yeah, yeah, other than that, I mean, I think we've covered Raw pretty good. Then moving to SmackDown. SmackDown overall was fun to watch, but again, it's I don't like 3 hours, and we've been talking about this for weeks. But it is confirmed that come the summer, it's going back to 2 hours.
I think they need to keep it that way.
Yeah.
You have this is kind of like what I said I wish they would do. I wish they would do some more crossovers with TNA with some of them with the main roster mid cards
Hmm.
because I feel like that could get them I say but going to 2 hours it gives you more time to focus on the main stories and then and less time on fillers. And I feel like you could really help mid carders and NXT stars by doing crossovers with TNA, getting them TV time, all that stuff. I mean, clearly, some stars can really, do well for themselves in a smaller environment and stuff, like Joe Hendry, for instance.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Look at him. He's a superstar, and I'm sure if his contract was up, he'd already be on the main roster. You know what I mean? So,
He's going to
but
be in the
I
Rumble.
particularly like oh, 100%. And that's probably going to be the big pop for the Rumble this year is Joe
Yeah.
Hendry because you know that the lights go out, say his name, the whole place is going to go nuts. Um, but they better not Santino Morella it and let him get knocked out pretty fast. He should stay in there for a while. I think he should. I think he should be at least the last five because he's that good of a character. I know he would pretty much be standard on NXT, but I wish Danhausen wasn't part of AEW anymore. I think he just re-signed with them, which is like, oh. So I was like, oh man, because I would love to see Danhausen like just make run amok in NXT and just be that guy. Now I know Santino
Just
Morella
have him
wants to come
torment
back and do
Dominic
something with his
Mysterio.
daughter.
Just have him torment Dominic
See,
Mysterio.
that'd be great. That would be great. And I'll tell you right now, who would be a great tag team championship would be him and R Truth. Like
That
they
would
could
be
make
hilarious.
comedic gold.
That
They
that
would
that would be
make
hilarious.
they would probably they would do great together. Yeah, but yeah, but SmackDown, yeah, I believe 2 hours is the way to go. I mean, when Raw went back to 2 hours, it felt like it was super fast, and it didn't drag out. And I think like you said, SmackDown was decent, it was good. I um I watched it after it aired because I can't stand all the ads and the commercials and stuff. But yeah, I agree. It should be 2 hours is the way to go, in my opinion. And
I
Netflix needs to fix these damn ads, bro.
Yeah, right. I mean, like
Like they better
half the
find
reason
better
we
spot, better placement for ads.
well half the reason people
Yep.
subscribe to Netflix is just so that they don't get the ads. But the I really enjoyed
And it's
the
amazing
LA
that the
Night.
international crowd doesn't get them.
Yeah,
Which part? In out SmackDown?
yeah, on SmackDown. Yeah, LA. I was
Yeah,
before you
yeah,
start
yeah.
the about the ads, but going back to SmackDown, I really
Yeah,
enjoyed
I
the
forgot.
LA
I
Knight
forgot to
segment.
mention the ads. Yeah,
LA Knight
I think
tossing
LA Knight is. Yeah, 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 yeah. I listen. I think he's still ready to get his big push. I don't think he's gotten it yet. But I think he's go. I think we're going to get there this year, especially now that the Bloodline's jumping in on him at points of the show. I was like, okay. I was like, they're ready to start giving him some major screen time, I should say. If you're going to be involved with the Bloodline, doesn't even matter if it's with Jacob and all them. That means they're pushing you a little more, which
yeah,
is exciting because I think he deserves it.
yeah. Now the bigger question is, does he get his U.S. title back anytime soon? My guess is probably be a rematch at Saturday night's main event.
Probably that. I don't think he wins though. If that's the case, and if they want to really, really, you know, move the storyline more on with the Bloodline, have the Bloodline get involved in that match and cost him the chance at winning it, and then allows. But I do think Shinsuke Nakamura should stay the U.S. champion. But I think they should come up with a custom U.S. championship for him.
Hmm.
I think it'd be hilarious if he had something like. And I also I and like this, whether it's like just a red strap or something like that, just something that's like for Shinsuke. But I'm super pumped for Shinsuke too because I love Shinsuke as a heel. I love Shinsuke altogether. But I felt like he came out strong, and then they just kind of lost it. He lost his luster. But I think the U.S. title could help him, get a little bit further. Maybe he'll do something with Cena. I don't know.
Well, speaking
For
of
the U.S.
Cena,
title, which is what you
so
talked about.
so Cena's in the Rumble, which is expected. But the question now is that because of the Rock, because of the uncertainty of the Rock, they don't know what title to have him go for. Do you have him go against Cody, or do you have him go against Gunther if he makes it that far? Right now, it's looking like Gunther's going to retain the title until WrestleMania, at least from what I'm seeing is being pitched. So it looks like, and I've been following guys like WrestleMania and all the Sportskeeda and all that stuff. They're um, they're reporting of possibly Gunther versus Logan Paul, but
Yeah, I heard that too.
that's being pitched. But also Cody versus Cena is also being pitched.
I
I
would love for Cody and Cena to go at it at Mania and Cena win. And then for Cena holds the title until his final match and loses to Cody. And Cody gets the title back. I think Cody at some point, whether it's Cena or not, or even Kevin Owens, I think Cody right now needs to drop the title to win it back, whether it's at Mania or some PLE in SummerSlam or something. I think I don't think it's necessary for him to be the next Roman to be a great champ to hold it for 1,400 plus days. I mean, look how many times, Cena, Edge, Austin has dropped the title and picked it back up again.
but all right, so let's just
I think
assume
that.
let's just assume you go with Cody versus Cena. Do you have Cena go heel, or do you have somebody costing Cody the title?
So Cena did have an interview that he said right before COVID, right before I'm sorry, COVID, right before Rock and Cena won, he recorded a whole new entrance song, and he had all new ring gear for heel Cena. And his ring gear was to be opposite of like being on the Street Fighter, like the jeans and stuff. He wore like black and white boxing shorts, I guess like Mark Miro, I guess. Um, and he recorded a whole new song. But I feel like I don't feel like they can do it now. I just don't. For his last run, I don't think they can make him go heel.
No.
But I
And
feel like it could be two good guys like they did with Hogan and Warrior and make it to where it's a this is what I think to happen. If Cena wins, okay, if Cena wins, I could see afterwards the bloodline, the Rock's bloodline, getting involved with a lot of John Cena stuff. And then Cody basically comes out to help him and all that kind of stuff. So they can use the Cody and Cena versus the Rock's bloodline for a while. So they can stretch it out to where Cena is still champion. Cody keeps looking at him a certain way, like, yeah, I want my championship back, but I respect you. I'm going to help you out with these guys, blah, blah, blah. And then then that's when Cena basically says, for my final match, I will give you a shot at the title. And well, I think his final match should be SummerSlam, right? He's only going to SummerSlam, isn't he? I don't think he's
that's
going all the way to. So
I don't think he makes it to Survivor Series, but I think SummerSlam's going to be the curtain
yeah,
call.
I think that's it. Yeah. So I think that would be the place where, Cody and him go at it and Cody gets the championship back. That's what I think. But I mean, and that way, Cena gets the record, all that kind of stuff. And at the same time, so they can keep Cody as the good guy, Cena as the good guy. That's what I think they do. I would love to see heel Cena, but I just don't think we're ever going to get it at this point.
We may finally get the NWO Cena.
That'd be great. I did read like during the press conference or all somebody did say something like could we get like a Mick Foley type deal at the Royal Rumble? Like you come in as three entrances like the Thug Life Word Life Cena and you get the Never Give Up Cena and maybe Peacemaker Cena come out like if he gets eliminated more than once. I was like that'd be pretty freaking funny. But or yeah, NWO Cena. I think that would be the only way they would do it because he even said he's like, well, Peacemaker is a DC property. That would, cost some money for them to be able to do that. But either way, yeah, I would have loved to see heel Cena, but it's never going to happen. I don't think so at this point.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. What I do see happening, I don't mean to keep jumping back to the bloodline, is I what I do see happening before Rock comes back, and I still think that Rock and Roman are going to have some kind of match at WrestleMania. Even though The Rock says that his schedule is all messed up, I think he's going to move things around. They're going to make it happen. But
Oh, I
but
agree. I agree
leading up to that,
100%. I think that's going to happen.
either at the Rumble or either at Saturday night's main event or or any of the PLEs between now and WrestleMania, I think you're going to get McIntyre and Roman because I feel because they he's McIntyre's still on
Kind of having
his
his revenge,
his revenge tour,
the revenge on the bloodline. Yeah.
right? So he's
Yeah,
taken
I
out
could see that.
everyone
And
on the list so
that'd be a
far.
good filler match.
Yeah. So and then so overall, yeah, good week of wrestling.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be a good filler match, which not a filler match.
uh, Tiffany Stratton.
Oh yeah, they missed that
She
opportunity too.
so
Yeah,
she's now one of
loved. I love that.
yeah, she's now the other rising star in the women's division, and I
Mm,
how they're going to have Charlotte's return is going to be interesting because
mm.
do you because I think she's coming back as
It's
a
gonna be
heel.
against her.
Charlotte's coming back against as a heel,
That's when she's good though.
but do you have
Well,
Sh-
Tiffany's gotten over.
do you have Charlotte come back and go after Jade as she's the one who took out Jade, or do you have her coming back going after Tiffany? Tiffany seems the most logical,
Mm,
but I can also see that the person that took out Jade was Charlotte, but I I don't know. I still there's a lot you can do with that storyline, but I I still think
I guess you got to feel. I guess they got to feel it out. They got to feel it out based off of Jade's injury. That's why she's out for a little bit, right? So
yeah, it's most likely Naomi or Bianca is the one that took out Jade, but
yeah,
we'll
I could.
see.
I wouldn't mind it being Naomi. I wouldn't mind it being Naomi. I think she needs to.
She needs a
She needs
heel.
to flip the script. Yeah, yeah. She's too goody goody right now, and I don't think it's working for her anymore. Her coming back after being in TNA. TNA was really cool to see her come back and the pop and all that kind of stuff. Great, but I think her character needs some revamping. I mean, the neon shoes dancing down the thing. It's not. It's kind of like a new day. Like they
Yeah,
had to do something. And I think Naomi, which I love her to death. She's a great athlete and everything, and she's been part of the women's division for so long to the point where I think like yeah, she needs. They need to shake it up. I think it's time for her to turn heel.
yeah, and we'll discuss it as the Rumble gets closer of who we think we're going to see in the Rumble. But now that you
Mhm.
mentioned New Day, I think it's pretty clear. Big E comes to the Rumble and he eliminates the New Day.
I hope so.
That's an early prediction. And
And then we set up a new tag match, him and Wade Barrett at WrestleMania.
it'll hey, it can happen. Never say
I would,
never.
I would, I would, I would like that. That'd actually be cool. I just keep that's what came off the top of my head, but because they're always in doing the post game uh what's called shows and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, but
Well,
so
well, guys, let us know
yep.
what you think in the comments because it's going to be again. We're now coming back to stability. The Netflix show's out of the way, and now
Mhm.
now we're back to normal. So you've got Monday we've got Damian Priest and Finn Balor, and then Gunther will be back. All the regulars will be back,
Yep,
and it won't feel like a PLE. It'll feel like a normal week. So,
yep.
that's going to do it for us, guys. So let us know what you think in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.